Have you ever really thought about how many words it takes just to explain why you're doing something? Well, in Finnish, sometimes it only takes one. Today, we're going to dive into this single, super powerful suffix that expresses purpose with just incredible elegance. It's a fascinating piece of language, and we are going to break down exactly how it works.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll just touch on the whole idea of purpose. Then, I'm going to show you the magic formula that Finnish uses to do this. After that, we'll put it into practice with some real-life examples, and finally, we'll wrap up by looking at why this one tiny little suffix is such a total game changer.
Okay, so before we get into all the grammar, let's just start with a really simple question that honestly applies to every single language out there.
So yeah, how do you do it? I mean, in whatever language you speak, when you want to explain the reason behind an action, what words or phrases pop into your head? Think about it for a sec.
If you're an English speaker, your go-to is probably something like in order to, or even just to. I'm studying in order to pass the exam. It works, it gets the job done, but notice it takes a few words to build that idea, right?
And this is where Finnish does something that is just so cool. It takes that entire concept, that whole phrase, and packs it all into one single suffix that gets tacked right onto the verb. No extra words, just pure efficiency. It's beautiful.
So how in the world do they pull this off? Let's take a look at the secret code that makes this whole thing possible. Okay, so the official grammar nerd term for this is the translative case. Now, I know that might sound a little intimidating, but for what we're doing today, just think of it as the purpose case. Its entire job is to tell us why an action is happening. Simple as that.
Ready for the magic formula? It is so simple, it's just 3 steps. 1, you take your verb. 2, you add the letters K, S, E. And 3, you pop on a personal suffix at the end to show who's doing the action. That's it. That is the entire system. Now let's see it in action.
All right, time to put this formula to the test. Let's start with some real-world examples, and we'll begin with the basics, I and you.
Okay, let's kick it off with the verb rentautua, which of course means to relax. We follow our formula, add our kse marker, and then we add the suffix for I, which is ni. You mash it all together and you get rentautua kseni, which literally means in order for me to relax.
And just look how beautifully that slots into a sentence. Menen saunan rentoutuakseni. The action, going to the sauna, and the purpose, to relax, are fused together. In that one word, rentoutuakseni, you have the entire reason. It's so incredibly concise.
Now let's see how easy this is to adapt. To talk about you, all we do is swap out that last little piece. So we take the verb leipua, to bake, add our kse, and then use the suffix for you, which is si. And just like that, you've got leipuaksesi.
And here it is in a sentence. Tarvitset sokeria leipauksesi kakkuun. You see the pattern, right? The core formula is exactly the same. It's that kind of consistency that makes this structure so powerful. And honestly, pretty easy to learn once you get the hang of it.
Okay, awesome. Let's broaden our horizons a bit. This same formula works just as smoothly for groups of people, like we, or when you're talking about someone else, like a he or a she. So for a group goal, like winning a game, we can use the verb voittaa, to win. We add our trusty ka, se part, and then we finish it with the suffix for we, which is me. Put them together, and you get voittaaksemme, in order for us to win.
Pelaamme hyvin voittaaksemme ottelun. You can just feel that shared goal, that collective purpose, packed right into that single word. The action is we play well, and the purpose is to win. Perfect.
And for our last one, let's look at the third person, so he or she. We'll take the verb saada, which means to get, add our kse, and we finish with the suffix n. This gives us sadeksin, meaning in order for him or her to get something.
Hän kirjoitti hyvän hakemuksen saadakseen työpaikan. See that? The entire motivation, the whole reason she wrote that great application, is captured perfectly in that one final word. It creates a direct line connecting the action to the result she wanted.
So let's just pull all this together and step back for a second to appreciate the sheer power and, well, the elegance of this one simple system. Here's really the main takeaway. Finnish just boils down that entire concept of in order to into a simple, repeatable formula. Verb plus K plus your personal suffix. That's it. It's this single, powerful structure that just perfectly fuses an action with its purpose.
And that really just leaves us with one final question for you. Now that you know the formula, what's the very first purpose you would want to express using it? I mean, the possibilities are literally endless. Thanks for digging into this with me today.